Hello, guys. Hello, everybody. Hopefully, you guys are doing well. I'm glad that you are joining us today from wherever you are joining us from. Hi, I'm Jay. I'm out here so that everybody knows today we are doing something which some might call a little bit crazy. Why? Because we are live in our three Facebook groups on the Facebook page and the YouTube channel. So I'll be answering your questions for sure. And some of you, if you've got questions, feel free to join us live. As you can see, the link is right there below my face. Join us any Chrome browser that is not an iOS device, and you'll be able to join us live so that we can chat about your questions as well. But for those of you who are here for the first time or the 101st time, I'm glad that you're here, because either way it goes, the goal is to help you become bigger, better, better business owners and investors with whatever I can. So let me say hi to a few people, and then we'll bring on some of the people who got here live. I see my Uncle Earl is here today. That's awesome. Hey, Ben, how are you? It's like Ben Gleason, Rafa, what's up? Steve McBride, Harold Williams, Joe, how are you? And obviously that's Quentin. Janan, how are you? Janan, I think I'll see you in Ohio this week. I don't know. Susan, what's up? And Brandy, how are you doing? Hopefully you are doing well. Now, we've got a number of things that I want to say today, but at the same time, I want to get your questions out. For those of you who have never joined on one of our live sessions before, this is about as raw and as live as they get. So make sure that you type your questions in the chat boxes, whether you're on YouTube, because I can see them now, yay, whether you're on Facebook, on the Facebook page, or in the Facebook groups, we will get to them. But there's a lot of you, there's only one of me, and we will do our best. I will say this, though, the people who come join us live definitely get their questions answered. That's all I'm going to say with that, you know. But then again, you'd have to come join us live for that. So with that little hint being shared, what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring out one of our first live individuals today. Looks like Mike. I don't know if he's got his, I wonder if he's managed to get his kids in bed. Last week his kids made an appearance, so we'll see what happens this time when he comes and joins us. So everybody, let's say hello to Mr. Michael. How you doing, sir?
What's going on, Jay? How are you?
Good so far.
Fantastic.
How can I help?
So, interesting conversation I had today. I got a phone call from a friend, colleague, mentor that kind of introduced me to the short-term rental model like a year and a half ago. And
okay.
He does a bunch of other businesses and whatever, and he basically approached me to see if I'd be interested in taking over his business. And I'm trying to get a sense of how best to structure this, because initially he was like, well, I have some systems in place and different people, and in my head I'm like, that's great, but we have our blueprint here, like I have these systems that I want to just like implement in there, you know what I mean, to make my life easier. So I'm trying to figure out, do I come on and structure it as like an equity partner, or do I come on and just do like a per unit fee, and then any new units that I add, because he's got a lot of capital and he wants to get a lot more units, but he just wants to be more passive now. And I'm just trying to get a sense of how I would structure it, because it's almost like there's kind of like dead weight in there, and I'm trying to figure out how to have that conversation to be like, let me just run with it and do a cut somehow.
Got it. Okay, so this is how we're going to attack this, my friend. This is how we're going to attack this. There's a strategy that I've shared before inside, and I believe you have access to it. It's in our income infusion course. It's called Confess and Attack. All right, it's Confess and Attack. What you're saying to me is like, Jay, hey, here's a really great opportunity, and I want to take advantage of it, but I don't want to step on his toes or make this dude feel bad, because I already believe very strongly that what I'm doing is better than what he wants me to do, and I don't know how to broach the subject. And here's how we're going to broach the subject, Mike. What we're really going to do is we're going to confess exactly what we feel in a very genuine way, and yet at the same time ask for exactly what it is that you know, that what you believe to be best. So for example, if this was me to you, it'd be something to the effect of, you know, Mike, I got something really important I want to share with you, but I'm a little scared and nervous and I have a problem. When I say that, what are you feeling right now? What are you thinking about right now?
It's preparing me.
Yeah, you're like, what is this? And what's going on? And how bad could it be? And I was like, and Mike, if I want to drive that home, I'm going to follow that up with, you know what, Mike? In fact, I'm very concerned because what you're proposing to me sounds really good, but I don't want to ruin our relationship. And I want to make sure that you understand that where I'm coming from is a point to where what I think is going to catapult us both to the greatest amount of success. So do you mind if I share something with you? And what you've done is you've laid the groundwork to help him understand that what you're about to say may go in many different directions, but at the end of the day, he's prepared and so are you. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
And that's how you've got to start that conversation. There is no other way to have that conversation, my friend. I mean, I know you want to have it the easy way, but the easy way is the direct way. The hard way is to not have that conversation, if that makes sense.
So how would you try and structure? Because I know in the past you weren't big on the property management.
Oh, I'm still not.
I know you're not. So the way that I'm looking at this, though, is for me, I'm literally walking into 28 units that are already up and running and operating and making money. So to take that over and then take more capital and run with it, it's a good opportunity to just go in.
Well, there's going to be two stages to this. There's the what I call, instead of acquisition, it's assimilation. You have a system, it's up and running, and there's going to be a significant amount of work and retraining that needs to be done. That's its own set of value. Okay, that's number one. And then there's the ongoing management that needs to happen, and that is its own set of value. So there's 2 points in here that that I would want you to be concerned about. But more important than either of those 2 points is you need to understand what his long-term is and what your long-term is, because you don't want to start this to find out that he only plans to do this for 18 more months and then he's out, because then that's going to be a problem. Or you may only want to do it for 24 months and then you're out because maybe you've gleaned the value that you need. Because you know how strongly I believe in the system that we have access to, and I know that, and I don't think you need his money, and at the end of the day, it's a great way to give you a lot of experience in a very short period of time and possibly maybe leave a job behind. I get that, but there's going to come a point where you have enough money to go quote unquote solo on your own, and it's going to put him right back in the same position, and you guys need to have that conversation and what happens at that time up front. Additionally to that, probably the biggest issue is you're going to bring things to the table that he has never considered. Specifically, just think about additional services. He's probably not thought about, how on earth can I have my free Wi-Fi network and my paid Wi-Fi network? He's probably not thought about that. He's probably not thought about the level of revenue that would bring. What about automating early arrivals or late departures? And we haven't even gotten to things like the airport pickup and the car rentals. Those are all things you're going to be able to bring to the table. Those should be compensated completely differently than what he's already got. So there's just so many moving pieces, and you're right, it's a great opportunity. It's just the complicated negotiations on the front end.
So at first I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, okay, well then I should get a piece of the equity. But at the end of the day, what is the equity really? It's just, they're all leases. So what should I?
Does he own the business? I mean, does he own the property? He doesn't own the properties?
No, and it's not systematized enough to be, you couldn't sell this. Like, it's not.
No, you couldn't sell it. The point is does he want to eventually, and are you, and now this is where it really gets, this is, now you're really talking about why I don't like this, is because I don't want you to build his brand that then gets sold without you being a part of that. That's really what it comes down to. You should be building your brand. You're gonna have the most control over that. The most. He's not going. I seriously doubt he's going to give you a controlling amount of interest in what he's already built. but yet you're going to be the one that you're going to be the value behind it. That's what's going to happen. Which is, again, back to why I keep saying, I know it. This is why I keep saying you don't need them, because you're just shortcutting at most 6 to 12 months. That's really what's happening. You just don't need them, if that makes sense. It's just not worth the trade-off. Make sense?
Cool.
Thank
you. I know you're beating it down.
Well, now you know. Now not only you, but others have gotten to learn as well at the same time. So, but this is why I know the opportunities are tempting. Believe me, I get it. I mean, I totally get it, and I thank you for being willing to share your thoughts in the question, Mike. So cool. All right, guys. So that's how questions work, and you know, that's just pretty much how we do it. But and at the end of the day, I get excited for this. So we're gonna keep rolling. Who is this? It looks like John and Wendy are here from the great state, and you know, when I say the great state, there's only one state that it could be, of North Carolina. So let's see how they're doing. They checked in with us last week. Hey Wendy, what's going on? I have to unmute you. My bad. I forgot to do that. There you go. There you go.
There we go. Okay. There you go.
Yep.
Awesome. Can you hear us okay?
Yep, I got you perfectly.
Awesome. Awesome. So we've got 2 leases to sign on Friday.
Yes.
I'm telling you.
Yes.
Rocking and rolling over here. So I really actually have no idea what I'm doing. That's
okay. You're moving at the speed of instruction. That's when you know you have no, that's how I know you're moving at the speed of instruction, because you're like, I don't know what I'm doing, but it's all working and it feels out of control, but it's fun.
It's very scary, actually, but
it's some of that too. It's some of that too. It's kind of like a roller coaster. You're on the way up, and then all of a sudden you got that really big first dip that's coming, and you're just like, I don't know what's gonna happen. Do you have a seatbelt on? Oh, we were supposed to have seatbelts? Yeah. That kind of thing.
exactly how it feels.
Yep. But I think, wasn't it you, John? You went and got the generator, right?
Yeah.
That was genius move. I was like, that's perfect. So, and for those of you who are wondering what I'm talking about, in our Facebook group, I don't know, earlier this week or over the weekend, there's a hurricane. It's Florence, right? Or is it?
Yeah, you're right.
You're right. And John was like, I've got people coming, and he was concerned about what happens if the electricity goes out. He said, should I take my listing offline? I'm like, no. Everybody in the group was like, no, here's what you do. Boom, boom, solution. Not only did we give him the solutions, but he went out there and he implemented the solutions. Well, guys, it had to be minutes between the time we responded and before we saw photos of him actually implementing the solutions that we suggested. And that's the kind of work it's going to take. And you guys keep that up, and, well, this is going to be a foregone conclusion.
Yeah, for me, it's a mindset thing, and I've been working on that for years. But even in that moment, it was like I had to have that redirected and say, hey, don't think that way. You know, there's opportunity here. So, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
So we got it.
Go ahead.
I said, so we got it done. That was.
Okay. Perfect. Now, did you guys have a question for today, or were you just excited, still excited about the 2 leases and all that stuff?
Well, I am excited, but but I don't really know what I am going to be. I know I'm going to be signing a residential lease.
Yes, ma'am.
So should I take some verbiage with me and add an addendum?
Yeah. The verbiage and the addendum is inside. So inside the blueprint video 2.2 is the verbiage, because I copied and pasted from one of mine, and I put it in there for you word for word.
Okay. All right. So that's all I have to do is take
the main
that
thing.
with me.
That's all I care about. The main thing is making sure that they understand how your business works, and if for any reason you need to add any verbiage, that's the verbiage that I've always added. And outside of that, it's. I mean, you have you gone through the inside the materials? There's the dashboard. the dashboard materials. It's on. It's that you should have had the Trello access. Did Della get you the access to the Trello?
Yes.
Okay.
We just got it today, so
Yeah.
we're like a little bit ahead.
Perfect. Well,
On the bleeding edge,
yeah,
you know?
that's good. Then there's a section in there where you're going to want to go through under the move-in section and just literally start knocking down those check marks, because that's really going to be important for you.
Okay. All right. That's what we'll do tonight and tomorrow then. Okay.
Yep, absolutely. And chief among those is setting up the utilities. Make sure you connect with my wife or something, because that'll help. Okay?
Right. Utilities. Okay. Got it.
It's huge.
Awesome.
It's
Thank
huge.
you.
Yeah, no problem, guys. I'm thanks for being who you are and showing up and playing the game full out. I appreciate that. All right, talk to you soon.
Thanks.
All right, guys. Again, another question down, which is great. I haven't forgotten about those of you who are on the YouTube channels or the Facebook group or the Facebook page. I am getting over there. I want you to know that. However, there's something I'm excited about, because I always get excited when a person makes progress. I've had the privilege of assisting people inside the real estate space for quite some time. And I've had the privilege of working with a number of different people all the time. And there's been a number of people who have come and begun to work inside the company. And one of the things that has happened tremendously is that people who have worked with Cashflow Diary have often found some form of real estate to do themselves. And it's exciting for me, but it's also sad for me, because occasionally what ends up happening is that they do so well, they just leave. Not that I think this is going to happen with this next guy. I just know that being able to watch him and his wife go out there and get more is exciting for me. So, and you guys know him as the marketing guy, so to speak, but I know him as a friend, and most importantly as a guy who's recently been asking me a ton of questions, because he keeps getting units. So of course I am talking about Dave. Dave, how you doing?
Hey, what's going on? How's it going?
So far so good. That's a swanky little place you were at. Where are you?
Yeah, this is number 3.
Number 3, slacker.
Yeah, number 3. So we got 3 in this building. So we've got number 2 built, which is just down the way, and then this is number 3, and then number 4 is gonna start getting built out next week.
Did you say number 4?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know there was a 4.
Yeah, we got so we've got our first one, which has been running for a couple months now, and then 2, 3, and 4. So 2 and 3 are done, and then 4 is going to start getting built.
Okay, hold on. And it's at the same. So you said it's in the same. Oh, are they not at the same location as you were last time, or
No,
your number
they're
one?
not at the same location.
But these 3 are in the same in the same building.
Got
it. Now I understand. All right.
It's a 15-unit building, and we now control 20% of it. So that's
Yeah, that's exactly what I get excited about, because it's a much more comfortable feeling. That's good.
And they've been great, and the building is pretty cool, and they're using our conversations because it's a family with the who I've been working with have been taking all this information to the grandfather, who's the owner, and he's very old school, and he doesn't want to do a lot, and they're like, you got to get with the times, this is where we're headed, and so they invested a lot of money in these units for us, which was just great. Rehabbed all of them, brand new floors, brand new bathrooms, brand new everything, like really, really nice. Like if you walk to the outside of the building, you're like, oh, whatever, nothing special. And then you get inside here, it's like, wow, what did we just walk into? It's really cool. Yeah.
Totally understood. Totally understood. What did you just walk into?
We walked into a lot of new cash flow. We just got our first booking on one of our new
Oh,
units.
really?
Yeah, just today. We got
Awesome.
our first booking on one of the new units, so we're excited about that. But what we walked into, it's pretty swanky. I mean, I can kind of look at my computer.
Go for it. I'm gonna make you full screen so everybody can see. Take us on a tour.
All right, so I'm using my computer because I can't connect to the live link through Apple iPhone.
Boo.
So I'm just gonna kind of like, what happened? Oh,
No, you're still there.
All right. So here's our living room. Just tell me if I'm holding at a good enough angle.
You're holding at a good enough angle, but your finger's covering up the microphone.
Okay, what about now?
Yep, there you go.
All right, good. So this is the living room. And like this is the kitchen, so it's like obviously built in the 50s, but
that's exactly what I was thinking.
Like this, you know. And then we found these fridges at Home Depot because our space is limited, right? So we went to an appliance outlet trying to find used, kind of dinged up ones that we can kind of hide the dings. At Home Depot for like $527. It was like amazing.
Never bought so many fridges in your life, huh?
Never bought so many fridges in my life. The Vivint, the new Vivint pad is pretty awesome.
That's awesome. Hey, show us that sticker that you have on top, and you're covering the microphone again.
Okay, can you read it?
Yes, for staff use only. Has that been working?
It has. No one set off our alarm since.
Awesome.
Yeah. So this is. Let me show you the bathroom. Look at how swanky I made it. Like it's a stand-up shower, no tub. They completely retiled it. They made it really nice. But again, everything's, I mean, it's just very quaint. And LaTanya, of course, was our designer. And, she's got these amazing headboards. Those are like, the headboard actually lights up, which is awesome.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah, well, check it. And it's a touch. Like, you just touch it.
Okay, I gotta say something that looks like something that would be in Vegas, by the way.
Yeah, totally.
You're covering the microphone.
You should see the other unit. It's like all black and red. We asked her to give us Asian influence because we are attracting Asian travelers intentionally.
Of course. Yep, right.
And then this is the second bedroom.
Got it.
Yeah. And then in the back is a half bath, so I won't show you that. It's got pretty cool pictures in it, though.
Awesome.
Yeah. And so, like, all in all, we're probably working with, like, 850 square feet, Is
that a two-bedroom?
It's a two-bedroom.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Go figure. Go figure.
Yeah, so we're really excited. And the other one is, like, it's a different look and feel. Much more modern, got a lot of like the through like the plexiglass test. This one's got like a very bluish beachy theme. That one is like very gray and red and black. Really, really cool. I posted pictures of it in the mastery group. So for those of you that are in the mastery group, you should have seen some pictures of it in there. The day that our photographer was there. So yeah, that's what's been going on. I mean, we are just so busy. And the bookings are coming already, so we're super thrilled about that. I have so many questions, OJ. Like I've got like so many questions.
Okay.
Like, I don't know what to do about certain things.
That's what I'm concerned about. Let's go through. Let's take 3 of them, and then we'll go to someone else. And I've got a pile of questions on YouTube as well.
All right.
So,
well, I don't want to take up people's time. So what we're dealing with right now is that. Unit 4 is the one that currently hasn't been built out yet. And the reason why this is actually working out in our favor that it's not built out, we thought we were being smart by like kind of staggering the build, right? Let's do 2. We'll push this one back by a week and then that'll like free us up. Which it actually would have done, but I don't think it would have been any different to do 3 at a time now having gone through 2 at a time, right? Now, why this is actually working out in our advantage just coincidentally is because we're now going to have to use the empty unit as sort of makeshift storage. For these 2, right? To put our linens and everything in for the cleaning crew. Because, like I said, there's a grandfather that owns this building. There's an underground parking lot right? So it's an elevated building, so the parking is down on the street level.
Mm-hmm.
And down in the back, they have like a roll-up storage unit that at first they were going to give that to us, but it was filled up with all of his stuff. And then right next to it, there's this big empty space that also has a bunch of his old stuff there, but not nearly as much. And so they kind of were wavering with, are you going to get what's already existing with the roll-up metal gate, or are we just going to give you this area and then you need to move in your own storage unit, right? Some sort of like a outdoor storage shed, whatever. So they ended up saying, okay, he's just too overwhelmed. Grandpa is too overwhelmed.
Okay.
And he just can't take on moving everything out of the storage unit. So you're going to get the side space. And then that morphed into, he's still too overwhelmed. He just hasn't figured out like getting rid of the stuff there yet. So the stuff is still there. And we had a storage unit on delivery that's now been postponed by a week. And we don't have on-site storage. Like, I have to think there was a way I could have like made the lease signing subject to storage being available or something, because right now we're now going to pay to get access to number 16 because we have to take possession of it, and legally they aren't willing to do that, right? Unless we've paid them, which makes sense. But at the same time, the only reason we have to do it is because they didn't make good on giving us the storage, and we don't have anything in writing that said that they were supposed to.
And you've signed all the leases for all of them?
Yeah, but we also added our own little subject to clause in there too.
Understood.
But not to do with storage. So we have an out in our own leases, which we can execute pretty much at any time, but we're moved in, right?
Yeah,
we don't want to leave. We want this to work. So it's definitely not going to end up in any sort of like a he said, she said. But the storage, because it's so important, because it's so integral to everything working,
right?
We were just like, yeah, we'll get it. Everything will be fine. He's going to move his stuff out of there, but he didn't.
Understood.
Yeah.
What do you think it would cost to go hire people to go put his stuff somewhere?
Not much. I mean, they meaning the property manager, the granddaughter, and the uncle, assume that most of it's trash.
Okay.
Most of it will get thrown away.
And
but how much would it cost? Like if I went to Home Depot, which is literally 5 minutes down the street, and just got day laborers, if nothing else, for as much stuff as there, like probably $40.
Okay. So here's where I'm saying, take care of it for them. Ask them, hey, here's what we need to do. We understand. Here's what has happened. What has happened is you didn't fulfill your commitment. Your commitment didn't get fulfilled. Instead of pressuring you guys to fulfill it right now, so that for the long term, whatever you call it, of this relationship, we're going to make an additional investment in the quality of our relationship by taking care of this for you, because we need to go ahead and get this. And in order for us to be happy here, we have to have storage, as we talked about, from the beginning. And then that's what I would do. I would just solve the problem, because part of the problem is the people who could solve the problem probably don't know how, or at least grandpa doesn't believe they know how, so he won't let them do it. And he's overwhelmed, as you said, so he's not doing anything. So take what is currently overwhelming him off his plate, especially since it's only $40.
Yeah. And so there's that idea. So we've tried to use the needing to now prorate the empty unit back by a week and paying an additional $500 to get access to it, to use it as storage, as a leverage point, which is, yeah, we're happy to do it. We get that looks like occupancy to you, it looks like full possession. So in order to gain access to it, we will absolutely pay that for you, but we got to get something for our money. which is at least an agreement on by when that space will be available. Like by when. Just
Sure.
give us a by when. If it's Wednesday, then it's Wednesday. If it's Tuesday,
Understood. Then that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that.
But they wouldn't agree to it because grandpa, right? Because grandpa
Well, that's why you have to do it yourself. It's
and
just
we did give the offer of we could even bring people in and move it to like an empty parking spot. Or if there's an empty space, if there's an empty anything that we can do, I'm happy to help him move it.
got it.
Of
So
which we got no response to.
well, and here's what it comes down to. Your famous words. I've learned these words from you. I've heard them on the phone more than once when you're talking to many people and occasionally me.
Unworkable, Jay.
It's an unworkable situation, Dave. It's an unworkable situation.
Yeah.
And be silent.
It's workability, Jay.
That's what it is. That's what
Not
you've
a
got.
morality issue, Jay.
Yeah,
It's workable.
unworkable.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
what you got.
Yeah, and so I just what I'm wondering, like, well, because we're here now, like, there's nothing we can do about now. Like now, there's only
Correct.
now o'clock, right now o'clock and nothing else.
Right.
There's only now an opportunity, as we like to say.
Right.
So we're here. I'm just wondering, like, because we put the addendum in. Oh, and to answer whoever asked the question about the addendum, while I was waiting to come on, I added the actual document addendum version into the files in the student group.
Oh,
So
okay, cool.
print that out. Just print that out. It's in there now. So because I built that and had whatever. All right. So anyway, point being is that was there something we could have done, or this is just one of those things and you couldn't foresee it coming and it just is what it is?
Well, yeah, you could have foreseen it coming. I'm always nervous about possession because I always want them 100% gone, and I'm very clear about what that means. And I typically just refuse to take possession until it's done, and that's just how I do it, because all these little things get in the way, and it helps me to be very clear with them. Hey, this is what I need from you in order to make this a workable situation. And that's it. I just let it lie. I mean, I don't mind. I will gladly take the unit, but I will take the unit and we will start the rent on the date that you are done. Not going to be close to finish, but done. You have to be done, because my crew, they're going to come in. It's going to take us 48 hours, and they can't be interrupted by Uncle Frank, who's got to come and get his pickup truck, and he left his 3 chickens back at home, and he has to come back, and so that doesn't work.
Right. Okay, got it.
Cool. Excellent. Awesome, guys. Having fun. Oh, look, first time caller, long time listener. I'm going to go. That's what I'm going to call Isabella anyway. So let me get her out here. And again, Facebook people, I haven't forgotten about you. After what we will do is we will get some of you guys out, and I'll blow through some of those questions as well right after we hear what Isabella's got to say. Isabella, go ahead. I can barely hear you, like very barely.
I'm working with really ancient technology here. It's a little bit of a miracle if you even get me on here. So.
I mean, it's very, very faint, but I got you. Go ahead.
Okay, let me see if there's a way for me to turn this up.
It just sounds like your mic input's really, really low. That's what it sounds like.
Okay, I don't know if I can fix that or not.
Right.
Okay,
Oh,
let me see. Oh no, that just muted me. Okay, well, I'll just talk loudly. How about that?
that sounds great.
Okay, so we are 2 units in at this point, and I am trying to figure out the maid routine situation and inventory restocking. So what I'm wondering with that is what your process is for being able to manage that, because you have like these refills that are having to go on an ongoing basis, and I want a consistent experience for my guest. And so I'm trying to manage that
Got it.
process and have it be in a way that I can communicate to my maids exactly what I'm expecting.
Got it.
And that they're consistently doing it, because it's been I've explained it, but then they have
Yep.
different teams who come out.
Yep.
And then the first team doesn't know what the second team is doing.
Right.
And
Right.
all of that. And so I'm trying to kind of get this real systematic. So
Understood.
it's consistent and I don't have any drop balls.
No problem. So I'm going to repeat that just in case everybody else didn't hear it. I heard it. Not that. And at the end of the day, I'm going to summarize it as you've got 2 units now, but you're having a challenge having consistencies with your turnovers because your team, your turnover team uses your turnover company uses multiple different teams, and you're trying to make things consistent between them. Okay. If that's close to accurate, that's kind of what I heard. Is that right? Yeah. You can just shake your head.
Yes, and I want quality. I want the same level of quality.
Absolutely.
over and over.
Yeah. Everybody wants the same quality. Even though, I mean, I was going to say McDonald's doesn't have high quality hamburgers, but they're the same. And no matter where you go, totally understood.
I know what to expect.
Yeah, you're going to get, you know what you're going to get. And that's exactly what it comes down to. So if you've ever, I don't know if you've ever actually looked at a McDonald's SOP or standard operating procedure or anything, or any standard operating procedure, there's 2 things that help make this happen. Usually a diagram, which is a photo with illustrations on it of what goes where and how you want things to be, and a checklist. And that's really those 2 things combined. In our world, let's say photos and a checklist, or an annotated photo with a checklist. Those 2 things are the only way to ensure consistency when you are working with multiple different individuals. There's no other way to do it. But because you can explain, and I learned this lesson from my wife a lot. I'm an auditory learner. Talk to me all day, I probably got it. But if I do that with my wife, she has no clue because she's visual, and it's like, very frustrating. So I'm communicating in my natural language to someone who receives information better visually, and that's what we have to take. We have to take that on as the entrepreneur with our teams to help them understand what it is that we're trying to, because it's probably just as frustrating for them because they want to do a good job too. Does that make sense?
In that, with inventory, do you have them send you that checklist then?
Got it.
Each time they do a cleaning?
Yeah, exactly. So when it comes to your inventory checklist, that's exactly right. You can have levels such that they can just take a picture of this checklist. That way, every time they're done, they can send you that, if that way it works, so that you know when when it's time for you to reorder whatever it is that you need to reorder, because otherwise you won't know. As you continue to grow past 2 units, you'll eventually have a central storage place, or if you don't already, and it'll be easier to manage that, because then the only thing you have to pay attention to is what's inside that particular storage unit. Does that make sense?
Yes. And do you keep track of how quickly things get used?
Got it. No.
Stolen or used?
Right. She asked, do I actually keep track of how much toilet paper is going out the door? Nope, I can't. It's just it is too granular. Now, at a certain level, it's going to make sense to hire somebody to keep track of the run rate of toilet paper and paper towels and dish soap. And I'm thinking, what else do we get? A Cascade. We get it to go through Cascade like mad. Trash bags. Oh my goodness, trash bags like crazy. At some point, yes, it's going to be worth managing those pennies. But right now, we're not at a volume to where I care enough. It's just, you know what? They need more trash bags here. I don't know what you did with the toilet paper. So long as you didn't set it on fire, I'm kind of happy. That's just pretty much how I feel about it at this point. Okay. All right. Thanks. So, all right. Now, as promised, what I'm going to do is I'm going to head on over to I'm going to blow through some of these questions. I'm going to start with YouTube, since we don't get to answer the YouTube questions that often. I see Ebony is here. She says, Jay, I'm a student I'm a member of your Facebook group. I need help figuring out the best location in northern New Jersey. That's the best location? Okay, got it. I know how to answer this question. Ebony, the best location is going to be the location that, well, your customer wants to be at. And I know that sounds like circular, right? You have to decide. And again, I know nothing about the state of New Jersey other than that they're very short-term rental friendly. I've never been. But when it comes down to it, you're designing an experience for a human being. The human beings that you choose to serve, and you can choose any that you want, what type of experience are you looking to give them? And ask yourself, does this location suit that experience? If I was going to do a wilderness camping experience, again, I don't know if you have wilderness or camping in New Jersey, but I would want to make sure that I was in one of those areas. If I'm going for the urban play, then I would want to make sure that I was in one of those areas, if that's what I was going to do. Whatever I was going to do is where I would be located, so that's the answer to the question. And you want to geolocate, you want to locate your unit closest to the activities that are bringing your persons to the area. So if for example, if they're coming for an amusement park, I don't know if you have an amusement park out there in New Jersey, but you'd want to be as close to the amusement park as possible, right? That's whatever they're coming to do. If they're coming to a particular corporation, or if there's a corporation that you're thinking, I could do a lot of business with them, I would want to have my units as close to those locations as humanly possible. So, and then what is that? Is her mic plugged in all the way? You know what? That's a good question. I did not ask that. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe it is. I have no idea. So now I'm going to go over to the first Facebook group. Where is it? The original, the OG, the one known as Cashflow Creators. I see Lorena says, Jay, how do I accommodate the early check-in, okay, and late checkout when we may have people book on those days? When should I let them know we are able to have them check in early? Got it. So, Lorena, here's how I am now handling the early check-in and checkout process. I only allow, first of all, we don't do late departures. I have 100% across the board stopped late departures. It's late departures that actually cause the problem. I can handle early arrivals, and I only allow early arrivals when the day before is vacant. That's the only time I do it. If the night before did not get booked, then we'll do an early arrival. There is no other situation under which we're doing early arrivals anymore. Now that we've done it this way, everybody is happy. There's no more last minute stress or changes to the cleaning schedule, and there's no sudden surprises of people arriving before the unit is actually finished. So that's really what we've done, because at the end of the day, that's very, very frustrating, and I totally understand. All right, let me go. This is awesome. So many questions. There's a lot of you guys. Okay. Ooh, we're going to come back to that one then. There was a lot of questions. I'm going to the Facebook page now. Let's see. Adema, I believe it says, as a real estate agent, can I still do wholesaling without getting in trouble? Got it. I have never been a licensed agent. However, to my understanding, an agent can do a wholesaling transaction provided they give proper disclosure and disclose that they are acting as a principal, not as an agent. Again, obviously check with your broker or any sort of real estate attorney or whatever it takes to protect your license, but that is my understanding. Anthony, how are you? I see you. Latoya's here. Chris, is there a workaround with Smart B&B for situations in which one party books on behalf of another? How do you handle greetings, name, and messages in this situation? Got it. When you have a third-party booking, so like if you're dealing with business travelers, this could happen tremendously often. So maybe their executive assistant makes the reservations on behalf of the person that they work for. I'm very clear, and we're very clear up front. We tell them, hey, guess what? We are going to be communicating to you. You are responsible for communicating to them. That is how our system works. In the future, though, if you'd like something other than that, please feel free to book with us directly so that you can get some special benefits, because the people who book with us directly get some special benefits like that. And that typically is how we handle that. Latoya, is there a spreadsheet in the group or mastermind that breaks down the expenses and profit per unit for a short-term rental? No, because for example, and here's why. The best you can do, the best you can hope for is percentages at that. Because I have units in LA, Los Angeles, Orange County, as well as Long Beach. And I can't use the numbers from LA and compare them to Long Beach, because if I did, I would shut down Long Beach in a minute, because LA, the numbers are huge, all right, versus Long Beach numbers. And I can't take Orange County and I can't take Long Beach numbers and compare them to Orange County, because I would think Orange County was just way too expensive. There's just no way it's going to work here. There is no flat across the board. This is why I've always said what you should be focused on is your net profit anyway. And that should be somewhere around $800 per month per bedroom that you're operating. So a studio, 800, one bedroom, 800, actually closer to 1,000, 2 bedrooms, 1,600, etc. So those are the things that you should be shooting for, and that's what you should be looking for, because my Long Beach units, they don't gross top level number don't come anywhere near what the other places do, but bottom level number, we're still good. That's really what it comes down to at the end of the day. All right. So I know that there's more questions. We're going to get one of the other individuals who is here live. And I see, oh my goodness, that's a long string of questions. Let me see. Who do we have? Mike, John, Wendy, Crystal. What is up? It's North Carolina is in the house today. This is awesome. So hey, give me 1 second. We're going to pull. It's like everybody from North Carolina is here, including me, I guess. Excellent, Crystal. How you doing? Go ahead.
I'm good. How are you, Jay?
So far, so good. So far, so good. What's going on?
We're buckling down here for this Hurricane Florence. So
Yeah. Stay safe.
So I have a laundry list.
Go. Okay, go for it.
All right. Some of them easier than others, but so first one, I have a list. So emailing guests. I know you're using Smart B&B for automating guests. With my one unit right now, I haven't gotten to that point yet where I'm automating it. I'm just kind of sending them out manually, just kind of getting the feel for it myself. But are you actually emailing them, or are you just sending messages via the Airbnb client? Because I'm like.
So first of all, for those of you wondering about the tool she's referring to, there's a link just below us right now. Feel free, click that. Totally helps us out. But at the same time, the answer to your question is the tools that we use always use the native communication channel that the platform has. So in this particular case, even though we're using a third-party software, it sends the message through in the Airbnb message center, because when it comes down to dealing with any sort of support or resolutions, it is always best that the communication can be verified by the platform's support channel. In this particular case, Airbnb will be able to look at the messages that have gone back and forth. There's no he said, she said when everybody can read it. Make sense?
Okay. Yes. Okay. So that helps clarify that. Question 2.
Okay.
Regarding the cleaners, kind of to Isabella's point, I guess, just trying to automate that process. One of the things I have them do is the before and after pictures, like we talked about at the summit.
Right.
I'm sure we went over it at the summer, but I'm
sure
so
we
new,
did too, but that's okay.
So, but where do they go to put these pictures? Because of course they're not techie right now. They're sending me text messages, which I know is not sustainable, and I don't want the clutter in my phone. So.
Yeah.
What do I do?
Well, and that's so at some point, we like to use Slack. That becomes our device for this type of thing. So the actual person doing the cleaning, though, still sends a text message to the person who actually puts it in Slack for us. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Yeah. Yes.
All right. Question 3.
Yep.
So I have a policy for extra guests. I have a 3-2 house. I've at least 2 of the last 3 check-ins. I see extra guests coming in on
every
Vivid.
time.
Every time, especially with the house.
Especially
so
the house.
I'm trying to figure out how to broker that conversation without coming across creepy. Like I've been watching on Vivid.
Come across creepy. You come across creepy. There is no not coming across creepy. So
Okay.
here's the best phrasing that I have found that works is a member of our security team happened to notice that you had more individuals in your party than stated in your reservation. Just so that you know, that is a violation and it's ground for immediate termination. We would like to avoid that. In order to do so, we have gone ahead and sent you an alteration that will adjust the reservation to reflect the number of people that we have been able to verify within the unit. Sounds like I've said that at least once.
All right, very good. I'll make sure this is recorded, right?
Absolutely. Don't worry. A lot of people are probably scrambling like, I want to write it down. I can't screenshot that. Yeah, no. It's all good. It's all good.
Good.
Yep.
All right. Question 4.
Go for it. Oh, wow.
So the owner of the house that I have now, of course she's loving it right now.
Of course she is.
And she's been talking to other people.
Of course she does.
Like, I got a girl who,
and now you got a problem. You now I got a whole nother house then. She wants me to do it too. Right. Yep. Congratulations.
In the process of house hunting.
Yep.
I have yet to talk to this other person.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this other couple. But I'm hearing things that she's saying to them that of course are not to our system. So I'm just trying to figure out how to kind of broker this. I think who had that conversation kind of sounds kind of similar, but how to just go ahead and take the reins to be like, hey, no, this is our system. This is what you should be looking for. This is what I'm looking for.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, instead of saying, hey, no, what I would say is, okay, tell me what you think you currently understand about what we do. And then I'm going to tell you exactly how it works.
Okay. Does
that make sense? And that way you can find out what the erroneous information is. Then you can go correct that later. But for now, you don't have to, for lack of a better word, cause her to lose face. She can, do her thing. But at the same time, you can straighten it out.
Okay. All right.
Good job. I'm excited for you.
I'm excited too. So question 5 leads us to the next part. So on the other flip side of that, now I got investors.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Positive problems. I know. Right. Like, what do I do? People throwing houses at me? People throwing money at me? This is why I said at the beginning, you have to be clear on what it is you want your objectives to be, because once this starts, you're not even trying, and this is the point I want to stress for everybody. You're not trying. You're just excited about what you're doing, and other people want to be a part of what you're doing, and they go, well, I got money. Do you need that? Or I got a house. Do you need that? Or I'll go buy a house if you need that. I mean, and that's what I'm trying to tell people. That's the point. You are the intersection of value. And now that's a good title. The intersection of value. Dave, mark that. So
you got an acknowledgement, Jay.
Yeah. If y'all see a video or article, you know how it started. It was right here. You are the intersection of value, and people are attracted to that. Everybody, there's a concept in the book, The Science of Getting Rich, called the increasing man. In this case, the increasing woman. Everyone wants to be attached to someone who is going somewhere with whatever they've got, and that's you. You are becoming that for them. This is why I want all of us to go out there and crush it. Please. All of us. So, but yeah, this is great. So you're like, now what do I do? You go back to finance. There's the financing section in the blueprint that talks about 3 basic financing structures that you can use to be able to accept capital. I would strongly encourage you, though, if you remember from the summit, we talked about the cash advance structure. That is the structure I would strongly encourage you to use.
Okay.
Okay.
I those notes. All right.
Question 6.
Thank you. I was like, I'm losing count. Question 6. Okay, going back to the early check-in, late checkout. I took notes. Yep. My question is, for the early check-in, a lot of times they're planning in advance.
Yep.
Let's say next month, a few weeks from now, whatever.
Sure.
And they ask the question, can I do check-in? At that point, I'm not exactly sure whether or not the prior day is vacant or not.
Sure.
What do I do there?
I charge them $100 or $75.
Oh. Okay.
I charge them enough that I think it'll make up for the potential of that lost day. Does that make sense?
Very good. Yes, because that would cover it. Gotcha.
There you go. She's like, that would work. Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Last question. So additional marketing. So I posted on Airbnb.
Okay. Yep.
Great.
Yep.
I'm targeting kind of the casual traveler. We're close to Uptown Charlotte.
Okay.
That type of thing. So as I mentioned previously,
Yep.
my weekends right now have been great. The middle of the week, not so much.
Dead. Understood.
And so I'm trying to figure out other ways to market it, other Airbnb. I posted to like Facebook Marketplace and Craigslist and a few other things. So kind of wanted to get your thoughts on some additional marketing techniques.
One, increase your price on the weekends. That's number one, because you need a high revenue business, not a high occupancy business. So think about that. Second, are you collecting? Okay, there was a guy also at the summit who had the devices that collects the data for the from the individuals regarding the internet. Like when they use your internet, are you pixeling them so that you can build your database of customers for Facebook and retargeting and marketing in that way? Did you talk to him?
I remember that guy. No, I did not talk to him.
Okay, Brandon is his name. He's in the Facebook group. Feel free to tag him. He will gladly walk you through it. But that is the key to what you're talking about. Because what you want to know is you want to be able to get the email addresses of the individuals who have stayed with you. And when you see that they are, let me see, at Panthers.com, because, you know, someone from the Carolina Panthers came and stayed with you, you're like, yeah, you're the person I need to retarget. I need more of those people. And you need to be able to collect that data so that you can use that data in the future to be able to do exactly what you're talking about. Right now, you don't have the data. The problem is, the reason I can't really say much is because you don't have the data necessary to actually execute any of the strategies.
Okay. Yeah, because all I have is the information Airbnb gives me, their phone number, and I don't even know if I take their email.
You don't. You have a fake email. You have their spoofed or alias email address is what they give us. So yeah, that's why I'm suggesting this. It's because you want that data. It's the same problem that Amazon sellers have, is they don't get the customer information.
Okay.
So.
All right. Well, those are my questions.
Excellent. I appreciate it. You guys stay dry, stay safe, and I will talk to you guys soon. All right, let's get back into the Facebook group here. I know hopefully you guys are okay with the fact that we are going a little bit over time today. I think it's okay. I think it's okay. And if you haven't checked out before, Smart B&B, that was one of the tools that we mentioned. Feel free to click that link below. I believe you get a 14-day free trial. It's pretty awesome. Does a lot of the automation and communication for us. I know, I totally appreciate it. And I believe Dave, you're back because you have some announcements to make or something. Just shake your head because I have you muted right now. Okay, got it. So I haven't forgotten about that either. So what I'm doing is that I'm now going through the other Facebook group to get some of the questions. Susan says, we love crazy from you, Jay. Good, because crazy is what you get, especially today. Let me see. I have my first unit going live. Brandy, awesome. That's great. I love it. That's exactly what we're talking about. Janan, two main questions. John, just signed 2 leases and getting everything set up. Excellent. I love it. It's like the one post above. I just got 1 unit. Next post, I just got 2 units. And you got Crystal going, people are throwing money at me. What do I do? This is what I love about what we do, guys. When we're focused and just executing, as entrepreneurs, we can attract value. Okay, so just signed 2 leases and getting everything set up. Can you just give a brief timeline of what you should do first? The day you sign the lease should be, like, literally sign the lease. Okay, so Janan, this is me signing the lease. I'm signing the lease at this, and in that same motion, you see how fluid that was? I signed the lease. I didn't even put the pen away. In the same motion, I'm going, Latanya, hey, I need your help. It's the same motion because I don't want anything else. I don't want to do anything else. I want to hand her the keys. That's it. But inside the dashboard, you should have access to the dashboard. Step number 3 is the move-in process. Under the move-in process, we put a bullet point list of exactly what to do and the order to do it in. Go check that off. That'll help you tremendously. Let me see. I know I'm supposed to have the listing live. It's coming soon on the move-in date. But then, which do I do first in terms of token price? Yes, go back to the dashboard. You'll see it. Also, Is there a basic template available for listing setup in terms of base pricing, per person charge, cleaning, extra fees, replacing stuff, violating house rules, and early and late checkout? No, there's not a basic template for a lot of those things, because my base price is going to be different than your base price, especially if you are serving the Walmart, Target, and Nordstrom customer, or if you have a 1-bedroom, 2-bedroom, a studio, and the geographic location, because I know for a fact that Irvine, California is different than Costa Mesa, California, even though they're really right on close to each other, which is also different than Long Beach, which is also different than LA. So your pricing is going to be experimental. The cleaning is going to be something that you should be discussing with your cleaning company, and just that becomes a pass-through. The extra fees, I tend to just use $20. $20 per person is kind of where it comes down to. And as far as the house rules, we do have a standard template of house rules, and that has been modified and changed by so many people. That is in the Facebook group, so you do have access to that. Jill Hanhong, how are you, Jill? Let's see. What else do we got? Great info and knowledge. Quentin Mason. Thank you, Quentin. I appreciate the compliment. Terrence Moore. Aiko, what's up? Today is so interesting. I didn't notice it's already 5 p.m. I know! Me neither. I'm like, what on earth? Did you say Smart B&B? The link's at cashflowdiary.com/STR data. Is that correct? Yes, Simone, that is correct. I said STR data because one of the link is called that because one of the best features, in my opinion, that Smart B&B has is access to data. You as a business owner, you need data to make decisions. Otherwise, you are literally flying blind. Could you imagine a pilot flying a plane with no instruments, no data? It's probably not a good thing. I'm not a pilot, although that would be fun one day. I'm not a pilot, but if I was, I would want instruments. I would want something guiding me along the way, and you cannot make those necessary business real-time decisions without accurate data. So keep that in mind. All right. Dave, we've got more questions, but I'm coming to you right now just so you know. I see you guys. I see these questions. Today is really good for questions. I kind of like it. So let me see. Dave. Is this Dave? Is that the right one? No, that is not the right one. Dave, you disconnected and came back, didn't you? That's what happened. 1 second. Gotcha. There you are. And Dave. And now I have to unmute you again. Boom. Dave, there you go.
Yeah, so that's what happens when you go live in 5 locations.
Yes. I'm trying, dude. This is not easy. This is so not easy.
Go live in 5 places. I know. We definitely need to get you like a person. We need to have a production team behind you somewhere, right?
I'm down for something.
Yeah. So I mean, really, we gotta get that because I mean, we gotta give you the star treatment, Jay.
That would be great. That'd be great.
All right, got it. Okay, so I actually moved units.
Okay.
Next one. I'm not gonna give the whole tour, but you guys can see that this is the.
Nice.
So, yeah, it's great. And then the bedroom is super swanky, and we've got.
Did you say swanky?
Swanky. We've got a lot of like Asian themed stuff in here. Yeah, it's really, really cool. So, so yeah, we wanted to get as many people on here to. Oh, I thought you were about to sneeze, Jay. I was like, oh.
No, yeah, no, they're good.
Yeah. Got it. So we want as many people on here as we could. I know we've got a lot of people from the mastery group. We got a lot of people from the student group, and inside the mastery group, I did post that we were going to be making a big announcement. A lot of people have been reaching out to me about the masterminds, and what I catch myself doing a lot of times is really explaining how much of a coaching program it actually is.
Right.
That people aren't really getting a course because not only does the course constantly change, but the software changes, the market changes. We're definitely sitting in something unique in just how liquid it actually is. It's constantly growing. And so to try and learn this business from just a training, to try and just, if Jay was to produce a piece of content 7 months ago and then that was it, and then that was all the mastermind was, and then the guesty thing happened, right? Like where would that course be, right? So we always set out to create it as something that could be like the rest of our other education, which is just something that's there. It doesn't need to really ever be updated, maybe once every few years. But this just is not working out to be that. We are always going to have to be a coaching program because we all get just how many moving pieces this business actually is. When you're getting your first unit, when you're getting your second unit, the overwhelm that can occur, even with ongoing coaching, even with the student group, even with weekly live Q&A, it's a lot. It's a lot. I know I've seen a lot of students asking for one-on-one coaching. I've seen them reach out to Jay for one-on-one coaching. I see students coaching each other and kind of creating partnership deals. All of it in service of overwhelm, right? People are just, they get overwhelmed and they're not going to be able to move forward until they have some sort of extra support, which is great, right? And so really it's what we've decided to do is that where the mastermind was intended to be a course, we've really committed to just creating it as a coaching program now. So rather than being the mastermind business system, rather than being, oh, get this training, then we're really wavering back and forth with what we even say about it. We're just flat out calling it a coaching program because that's what it is. So much so that when you get the mastermind now, before it was you would just buy the mastermind, but now when you get the mastermind, it actually starts with a live 6-hour training with Jay, one-on-one, walking you through the business. And we're just seeing how dramatic of an impact that's having on our students' success, even having just a 6-hour live training. So we're continuing to grow the masterminds. I know there's been a stoppage on our modules. It's not because Jay just decided to stop creating them. It's because we had to stop creating them in order to account for all the changes in the marketplace. So the Mastermind Business System course is now the Mastermind Coaching Program. And I just want to take this time while we have everybody live to announce that it's currently $19.97 for most of you in the student group. This announcement is not going to affect you in the slightest. But for those of you that have been sitting on the fence wondering if this mastermind is the real deal, for those of you that are like, yeah, one day I'm going to get the mastermind, I'm just using this live presentation to make the announcement that in the next 3 weeks, to account for the additional resources, we are in fact going to raise the price. It's going to go from $19.97 up to $24.97, so it's not a big impact. It's an additional $500. Think of it as an administrative fee, if you will, to help us as a company account for the extra time that's going to go into it in order to keep us a small crew. All of it's just necessary. It's a part of our growth plan. It's really not a way for us to make more money. It's just what's so, right? This is what's so and this is what's coming. But we wanted to give everybody the announcement to say, hey, we gave you guys a warning. So if you've been sitting on the fence on the mastermind, if you've been thinking, oh, you know what, I'm going to get this thing one day, someday, whatever, you've got 3 weeks to do it because it is going to go up to from $19.97 to $24.97. So if you haven't revisited our webinars in a while, if you'd like to go through those webinars again, there's a couple of them that you can go to. I'm just going to give you one right now. If you're interested in the other one, they're posted all over the mastery group. You can get to them. But if you go to cashflowdiary.com/star, again, cashflowdiary.com/star.
It's below your head right now.
Oh, did you put it up?
I did.
All right, perfect. All right, so if you go to that, it's going to take you through one of the most OG presentations that we did. This is back when Jay had 19 short-term rentals. He's at 30 now. He was at 19 at 3.5 hours a day to run them. He's at 30 at an hour and a half a day. So the system's actually just gotten better. So don't worry about the information being old or out of date. It's actually gotten better. The mastermind, what you're going to be getting, is even better than it used to be. So again, cashflowdiary.com/star, that'll take you through it. Now, if you've gone through that a million times and you're like, I don't need to see it again, I've just been sitting on the fence trying to, make it work. I just was waiting, but now that the price is going up, I'm finally going to pull the trigger. You can go to cashflowdiary.com/GOMM. That's just GOMM for Go Mastermind.
It's also
again, cashflowdiary.com/GOMM for Go Mastermind. And that'll take you right to the checkout page. You're going to see all of the bonuses that are in there. You're going to see literally everything that comes with it. Because a lot of the bonuses did change from that old presentation. We actually added more to it. We added the live 6-hour training with Jay that happens the third Saturday of every month from 6 in the morning till about 12 noon. You hang out with Jay and he walks you through the business as well as the business system. So jump on it now, because at 3 weeks when the price goes up, there's just no way to get it at the $19.97 price. So the next few weeks, I'm going to be sending out emails to people that are in our system who are marked as having not picked it up. If you've already bought, if you have a blueprint but you don't have that mastermind, you're going to be getting the emails. There's just no way around that. So if you're on the fence with the blueprint, you already own the blueprint, and you want to get the mastermind, now's a perfect time to grab that as well. So that's it, guys. That's my announcement. The price is coming. The change is coming. So grab it now before it goes up. Save yourself $500. It's a big deal. It's not a small chunk of change. So save yourself $500.
Awesome, Dave. Thanks for sharing that with us.
Absolutely.
All right. So we have a couple of things in service of what you just heard Dave talk about. Some of you will notice that the screen behind me is starting to look different. The set's looking different. In fact, as I've been talking, my brand new desk has been delivered, and the installation team, who was supposed to start 16 minutes ago, is sitting on the other side of the door waiting for me to finish so that they can start building it and making that happen. I say all that to say this. I am going to blow through these last questions that I see as quickly as humanly possible, because I do want to get them answered, but understand that we are just trying to serve and get your questions answered. So let's look at this. Who do we got? Mark Del Rosario. Yo, Jay, what's up, Mark? Davey June, is it worth going to VRMA? I have not found enough value in the what I like to call the institutional gatherings yet. I haven't found a way to make them pay for the time that they cost, because they are usually many, sometimes $700, $800, $1,000, and I'm just like, dude, really? What are you gonna say? I mean, but at the same time, I'm like, I don't want to be like that. I want to find out, maybe because I don't want to be, I can't say I know everything, because I don't. So, Davey, I haven't gone because no. Basilio says, Jay, hey Sarah, how are you? I'm not getting any audio, but I see your lips are moving. I hope you're getting audio by now, Joe, because if not, then we got a problem. Let's see. I cannot find a video. Ignat, I can't find a video in the group where you showed how to update all listings at once in Price Labs. Could you please show it again? I will create a Loom video later today, Ignat. I'll have to do it that way. It'll be faster. In the training modules, you went over how to ensure that no cleaning is happening during the holidays, i.e. Christmas. Do you block those days on the calendar? Jill's kind enough and shared a strategy where you make those days a 2 or 3 day stay in Price Labs, which I've already implemented. Question, is there another way to make sure that there are no checkout happens on Christmas? Yes. Inside, if you're using Airbnb or whatever platform you are using, they usually have a setting where you can say no arrivals or no departures. There's usually both. There's a no arrivals and then there's a no departures, or you can just put a check mark in both and there'll be no arrivals or departures on that particular day. Congratulations, Dave. They're excited. Robert says, what an amazing idea with the label on the control panel for the Vivint. And I don't blame you, Robert, for saying that. Kara says, I'm having trouble finding cleaning services who also do linens. Oh, that makes sense. Who handles your linens and how do you get them to and from the units if there is no laundry facility on site? Kara, I put the, yeah, that doesn't surprise me that you're having trouble finding that. We have a runner who literally takes them from our central storage. So what happens is we have on-site storage where the cleaning crew drops off the linens, and then the runner picks up from the central storage and takes them. He picks up from the central storage and takes them either to the separate locations like our LA or Long Beach, and then we have a cleaning or a linen service that comes by to the central storage and picks them up, drops off the clean and picks up the dirty. What is this? What is the mastery group? If you are already a student, the mastery group, because I forgot we put that up there today. The mastery group is the initial group for people who are not yet students. That's where a number of people have continued their journey with us. So it's a free group to join, but it's totally there. There's a big collection of individuals who are just not yet students, but wanted to be closer, to be able to see what they can learn. I have no idea because I don't spend a lot of time in the mastery group, to be honest. I do go in there from time to time, but my commitment is to the students. Can you allow, let me see, have I missed the big announcement? Not yet, JR, or, well, if you didn't see it when Dave made it, then yes, you did miss it. Jai, early arrivals, here is what I use. Okay, there's a solution there. I like it. Oh, she's charged up to $120 for an early arrival. Excellent. And she even put in her verbiage for you there. So if you want to copy the verbiage that she's using, that's perfect. Jay, what kind of customer do you serve in LA? It's business travelers, and usually people are going to the hospital. Those are the two things that we tend to focus on in LA, Basilio. Hey, Jay, thanks for taking time to meet with you and Akila and myself. Yes, no problem, Anthony. We just signed up for the Smart B&B account. Is there a training on operating this itself, or is it self-explanatory? If so, any tips? Yes, as you heard Dave talking about, that because of how quickly things change and all that other stuff, part of what I had to do is I had to take a step back to be able to make it easier for me to actually physically make content. You guys have no idea how much work it takes to make a video. And so the trainings on how I'm using this and the best practices, if you will, that's coming. So stay tuned, Anthony. We're working on it. What's Brandon's last name? Breshears, B-R-E-S-H-E-A-R-S. Can someone tag him? I think yes, someone please tag him. Mary, thoughts on getting properties for listings? I don't think I understand. I'm running into many homeowners associations. Oh, preventing short-term rentals. Yeah, Mary, I tend to stay away from all HOAs. That's the answer. Don't go there. Latania's out here taking care of us in Salt Lake City, Utah. Yes, Ladero, I know. I'm aware of where she is, because otherwise she would be here helping with this desk and this whole studio build that I'm trying to get done. Finally made a live event. Yes, Anthony, congratulations. And Mary, did you go through the blueprint and master? Oh, okay, got it. Excellent. So, all right. I don't know if we're ever going to do this 5 locations live thing again. It's really challenging, especially weaving in the live individuals, but it made it fun for me. Hopefully it was fun for you guys. As Dave mentioned before, there is the price change is happening. If you haven't been to the presentation, you can see it on your screen right there. Go to cashflowdiary.com/star. If you've already been, you're like, dude, I get it, I got it, I just want to go get it, then great. Then go to cashflowdiary.com/GOMM, GOMM. It's right there. Feel free to make that happen as well. With all of that being said, I definitely appreciate you guys for taking the time to be here today, the time that you give and the questions that you ask. And I just ask that you go out there and use the information that we're providing, because at the end of the day, nothing changes, literally nothing changes if you don't go out there and do something with it. With all of that being said, it's been fun talking to you guys today. I'm going to go get my desk put together. because I'm excited about it. And I will talk to you guys later.